Welcome to the FantasyFootballFirst.com podcast.
Let's be great. Let's be great.
Where we'll hang out and discuss all things fantasy football.
Go rock this thing, huh? Love you, man. Go get it.
We'll give our best fantasy advice, predictions, insights, and more.
Play our game. All right? Play hard, but stay poised. Get it done.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready. The show starts with Devin, Rick, and Quinn right now.
What's up, Fantasy First? All right. Just going to start off every time like that. 3, 2, 1, go.
What's up, First fans? Today we're going to be talking about wide receiver rankings.
Boom. Wide receivers.
Boom. And we can skip on to number 2. Just kidding. But as you can tell, everyone's number 1 is the same.
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Okay. Michael Thomas. Can we move on?
I just meant not everyone, all of us, of course.
Yeah, like
Michael
96%
Thomas.
of the world.
I mean, some people might have like Hopkins number 1 because you know a lot of people are really hyped on his situation.
Mm-hmm. Like you?
No, I don't have.
Oh, I was just saying like you're the only person.
Oh no, I'm not like that hyped on him, but a lot of people are hyped on him.
You did bring it up pretty quickly there.
We've heard you're hyped. Go ahead, hype it up.
Hype it up. All right.
What?
Anyway.
All right, back to business,
Yep,
people.
my number 1, Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas and
Not Michael Thomas. Just kidding. It's
Mikel Thomas.
Mikel Tumis.
Michelle.
Pretty good.
I mean, he's set up to be the number 1 again.
He does, yeah.
I don't think he's set up to do what he did last year, but with Breeze back, I mean, Breeze is great with those shorter passes. He's great catching those shorter passes. What more can you say?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Seriously, is there any more you can say?
There's not much more you could say.
I'm done on him.
I mean, you pretty much summed it up. I think with Sanders, I think is going to go down a little bit, but he's definitely going to be number 1 still.
Michael Thomas is going to be number 1, but he's starting to lean into the Antonio Brown situation. If you go and check his Twitter, he's just a crybaby.
Are you serious?
Yes.
What is
Who is he tweeting?
He's tweeting everybody. He was telling
he had a big fight with someone.
Devontae Parker.
Yeah.
He was telling him he was trash to catch as many as me, and then Devontae Parker won the battle by saying, well, if I get 300 attempts a game, then maybe I would.
Who started that? Do you know?
That was Michael Thomas who started
the mess?
He started it, and everybody said that Devontae Parker beat him.
He started it by asking just a simple question like, would you rather be defended by Stephon Gilmore or defend Michael Thomas? And I think Devontae Parker said being defended by, or defending Michael Thomas.
Sure.
And it was just, answering a question. It wasn't anything bad. And then Michael Thomas blew it out of the water. Yeah.
But Michael Thomas has always been a Twitter type of guy.
Interesting. All right, so folks, you heard it first. You may want to shy away from Michael Thomas. But
anyway, number 2.
I got Julio Jones.
Or I like to call him JJ.
JJ. All right, and you have?
Devontae Adams.
I'm Devontae Adams as well. Only because Green Bay drafted no wide receivers. They didn't really bring much else in for any sort of help. And, I mean, he's a man when he's healthy, obviously. So I could easily see him being the number 1 wide receiver this year.
I can see him being top as well. My only problem with him is it took him a long time to recover from turf toe.
Well, have you had turf toe? That's a serious thing.
Yes, but they said he'd be his type of turf toe. He said that it was going to be like 3 weeks, and he took like 6.
Well, it's different for everybody.
Yeah, but even when he came back to play the games, he still was not.
That's because 100%. It lingers, and if you're not 100% with it, then it can really go back and set you back all the way.
Well, my problem is
crazy.
Re-injury possibility.
Right. Well, I think he's healthy now.
Mr. Julio Jones, huh?
Julio.
I love Julio. He's great. He is. There's a debate that he's definitely the most talented receiver in the league. I don't think so, but a lot of people think that he is. He's definitely talented. He gets a lot of receptions. He, I think 4 or 5 years ago, got 200 targets in a year.
Tasty.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You look at him last year, there were games where he got over 15 targets.
Right.
And it was toward the end of the season.
Right.
Of course.
After Austin Hooper got injured. I think during Austin Hooper, when he was there, he had games where he was 10 plus targets still, but it wasn't 15 plus. So I think Julio Jones is just set up to just dominate this year.
I agree.
Nice. Man, I just don't like Julio Jones. My number 3 is Julio Jones.
Yeah.
Really? That's Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice. Speedster.
Yeah.
Cheetah.
You had him for cheap in the Dynasty League.
Well, somebody's got to have him for cheap. Might as well be me.
Yeah.
But the guy's fast. He gets a lot of 50-plus yard touchdowns,
Yep.
which is great for yardage, great for touchdowns, obviously. He's the number 1 receiver, minus Kelsey. But, yeah, he's definitely
The
good for
only thing
targets.
with Hill, though, is he is a little up and down. As far as he's not as consistent, say, like a Michael Thomas, who's going to get you those, 8 or 10 catches a game and get you those base points. If they somehow take Tyreek Hill out of the game and he's not going to generally get you those 8 to 10 catches every day game. He can, but it's more likely he might get you 4, 5, 6 with a long score or 2.
Okay.
And so if they hold him back some, then, your gains can be up and down, as opposed to, if you're going for Devontae Adams or Michael Thomas, you're going to be a little bit more consistent because they're just getting a lot more targets.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But
I feel ya.
But I love Tyreek Hill. Speaking of that, he's my number 4.
Beautiful.
Who's your number 4?
My number 4 is Kenny Galladay.
Ooh.
Wow.
You guys are really high on Kenny Galladay.
Somebody's got to be.
I mean, even when...
Well, some two people are. Gotta be.
Well, I mean, it's not like Kenny Galladay has ever been too bad. I mean, he looks
that's
great
true.
as a receiver. He got a lot of fancy points last year, even when...
Marvin Jones?
No,
Don't call
not
me
Marvin Jones.
Hawkinson?
No,
Or are you talking about the quarterback?
Yeah.
He had a
I was
couple
drawing
of
blank.
them.
Matthew Stafford.
David Blow? Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even when Matthew Stafford went down, he still was racking up points. He looks really good. I mean, just trust me on this one. Okay, Kenny Galladay is going to be a beast.
Okay.
Beast
So you're
in the-
saying I should keep him if I want him?
You should keep him if you want him.
All right.
The
I
only
have him in the keeper
Once again,
league.
the only problem is if Matthew Stafford goes down, he's got less value. I mean, you still saw
It wasn't a lot less.
Yeah,
and I don't know about that this year because they brought in Chase Daniel to back up, who was a much more next level than what they had in their last
I
year.
mean, still not Matthew Stafford.
No, but I'm just saying
He's a backup.
he's not going to, the production isn't going to drop off
Yeah.
as much as it could if they had some stiffs in there.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still stiff, don't get me wrong, but he's not like a stiff. He's
Yeah.
just a regular stiff.
Yeah. My last only thing with him too is some games, if
Yeah.
Marvin Jones was the man, Kenny Galladay was out of the picture.
Yeah.
I mean, there was only like 2 games last year where Marvin Jones racked up everything. Kenny Galladay saw nothing.
Yeah, Marvin Jones
But
had
then the
4
other games,
touchdowns in one game last year.
That was
He
crazy.
Sick.
We were all waiting for Kenny Galladay. I probably was versing Kenny Galladay. That's why. But yeah, Kenny Galladay.
All right.
So who's your number 4?
My number 4 was Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
And you've got?
Devontae Adams.
All right. So
Mr.
we're
Adams.
all pretty good there.
Yep.
Yep.
Number 5.
Mine is Odell Beckham.
Wow. Now you are high up on Odell Beckham.
I am very high on Odell Beckham.
Interesting.
Yeah. When you look at a lot of receivers,
Yep.
you look at just an example, Allen Robinson. When he went to the Chicago Bears, he had a very down year, and then he started to get a lot better.
Back in the groove.
You look at a lot of rookie receivers that have a struggling first year, and then they start to get better.
Right.
You look at Odell Beckham on the Browns' first year. It was just set up for him not to have a good year. On top of that, horrible coaching. Baker Mayfield had a horrible season.
He is set up for a bounce back year.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he's
Anytime now.
capable of putting up top 5. I don't feel comfortable with it,
Putting him in the top 5.
putting him in the top 5, but,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's possible.
it's definitely possible.
Yeah, I like it.
How about you, Quinn? Who's your 5?
My 5th is DeAndre Hopkins. What, are you copying off my list?
Did you have DeAndre?
I have DeAndre Hopkins.
Dang. You guys are higher on Hopkins.
I'm a little
than me.
nervous on Hopkins. A
Me
little
too.
bit, going for the same reason Odell last
Yeah.
year, going to a new team. But
Here's the thing for me for DeAndre Hopkins. The Cardinals have a pretty set up offense
Yes.
to do good. Now, if it's going to be spread around, that's going to be my only issue. I mean, Hopkins is a great catcher. If the ball's not near him, he knows how to get there. I mean, Larry Fitzgerald and Christian Kirk isn't too much of a competition. I mean, Christian Kirk still needing to understand how to play the game more, and Fitzgerald getting really, really old.
Although this is Kirk's third year, so I do see him progressing quite a bit this year.
Yeah, my thing is that I like with DeAndre Hopkins is I'm pretty high on Kyler Murray this year. I think he's going to do really good for his second year. I think he understands. So
and they're going to throw a lot. I mean, that's their coach. That's the difference between the Browns coaching staff who didn't know what to do or how to use Beckham. I think this staff knows how to use Hopkins.
Yeah.
And I think they will. At least they'll try to. So
I mean, Larry Fitzgerald was basically the Hopkins of the past, and they've had him forever.
Yeah. He actually taught Hopkins during his rookie season.
Even better.
Which actually would make me excited about Hopkins too, yeah.
The only thing is the defense might pick up that, I mean, Larry Fitzgerald can still catch the ball. Christian Kirk is one of those deeper threat guys as well.
Right.
They just might catch up that Hopkins is going to be the man of the man on that team. So we'll see.
We will see. All right, number 6.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. Interesting. We'll definitely touch more on that in a second.
Did you talk about your number 5?
Yeah, as DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, yeah, as well, huh? Number 6?
Yeah,
I have Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, okay. And I have Kenny Galladay. So.
Okay.
Kenny Galladay.
I like Kenny Galladay for some of the same reasons you talked about, so not much more to go on there.
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans. I'm very interested to hear about Mike Evans because I have him way down at my number 13.
It's funny. I actually have Hopkins at my 13.
I don't even have him as the best receiver on that team. I have Chris Godwin ranked ahead of him. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts on
yeah, I mean...
You do too?
No, Mike Evans, I believe, is going to be the man. He's my number 7th.
Okay, well, let's hear it. I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Well, I mean, Tom Brady wants a deep threat. He's been talking about it for years. He even asked, I think it was Randy Moss, he wanted him to unretire and go to the Patriots so he would have a deep threat. So Tom Brady wants a deep threat. He still has an arm, regardless if you think he's old or not.
Right.
He can still throw a ball deep. And Mike Evans is just that guy. He's the most talented receiver on the team.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. My thing is, I didn't expect nobody expected Chris Godwin to do that good. And it's weird for Jameson Winston. I just think that Tom Brady is going to spread the ball around, but Mike Evans is just going to be the one to be there more.
Mike Evans last year was limited quite a bit last year.
Well, Mike Evans is like the Julian Edelman to my eyes, where he's going to get, 6 catches a game, but Mike Evans knows how to put on the Jets or make the plays. So I think the yards are going to be there as well.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I could see him catching a lot of touchdowns. I mean, he's definitely that kind of a receiver. So I just felt like Godwin was more of your baseline. I guess maybe I feel safer with Godwin as far as he doesn't have as high of a ceiling as a Mike Evans would have.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's safer because he's going to be that Edelman kind of catching, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 catches a game and maybe a touchdown, where I think Evans, like you guys said, could be the guy to go off and catch a couple of those long ones and have more touchdown production. But, I mean, we're excited to see what happens with Brady.
Yep.
See who he maybe he'll even just blow off both those guys and throw to some guy we don't even know about, like Gronkowski or something. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that was a joke. I don't believe that at all. But All right, number 7.
I have Adam Thielen.
I have Mike Evans.
Oh yeah.
I put in Cooper Kupp. He finished pretty high last year.
Yep.
Okay.
And not much has changed. They shipped off Brandon Cooks, and they drafted a rookie. So I just think there's going to be plenty of targets still. Jared Goff loves him, and I just feel like he should repeat easily what he did last year, which was about a number 7 position.
Okay. No, that seems pretty fair.
Yep.
I also like Adam Thielen for that spot.
Do you have him close too?
I don't. I mean, a lot of these guys, even though my ranks are different, are very close in total points.
Yeah.
So I might have one ranked 7 and another one 15, which is where I have Thielen. But as far as points, they're very close. So
Like they're within that 30-point range.
yeah, so one could easily overstep
Yeah.
the other. But I do think
Yeah.
Thielen is going to get a lot of work. I just am a little worried. He's 30. I know that 30 is good for some receivers, but I don't view him as, a dominant. I mean, he's never been, besides the last few years, a dominant wide receiver or extra skill more than the other. He's just been a good receiver that's come on. And usually when those receivers hit that 30, 31, they take that step back. Where those elite receivers take that step back, but now they're still good.
Yeah. The problem I have with Thielen is that he actually admitted when Stephon Diggs left, he went on Twitter and admitted that Stephon Diggs taught him everything he knew, and Stephon Diggs helped his career a lot. And he was like very sad that Stephon Diggs left.
Sure.
I think that's going to hit Adam Thielen a little bit, but he's still pretty much the only receiver there. Besides, now they have Tajay Sharp, which I don't think is that.
Right, he's just a fill-in.
Yeah.
He's not going to be anything spectacular.
And they have Justin Jefferson, which I think he's just going to do normal rookie wide receiver stuff.
Well, I mean, even if he did really good, I mean, you're talking probably 700, 800, 900 yards. Nothing crazy. It's not like he's going to pull out 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns.
Right.
And if he did, then more power to him.
Nice.
So, Quinn, yours was
Mike Evans?
Mike Evans. And we talked about Mike Evans, so let's move on to number 8.
Okay. I have Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen.
Keenan, I have Smith Schuster.
Smith Schuster, interesting. I put Chris Godwin in this spot. For the reasons I talked about, I think Brady's just going to pepper him with targets, and I think he's a safer wide receiver, and I think he'll finish pretty high. Smith Schuster, huh?
Yeah. I mean, back in the days when Roethlisberger was good and he was alive and healthy, some might call it the Antonio Brown era.
Right.
Juju Smith-Schuster was not out of the picture. His rookie year, he did really good for a rookie for fantasy. He had surprising. He had like 4 or 5 plus 50-yard touchdowns as a rookie. I think it doesn't really change. I think once Roethlisberger is back, now that he's feeling good. I mean, that first game when Roethlisberger was throwing, Smith-Schuster was the targeter of the team.
Right.
He's going to be back. He's going to have the bounce back.
Competition, though? I mean, they have a lot of competition for wide receiver there.
Yeah, but it's still Juju Smith-Schuster is, out of all of them, he's the smartest with his routes. He is going to be the slant guy. He's going to be the deep threat guy. And Roethlisberger, you saw the 5 years that he was Antonio Brown. He stuck with Antonio Brown, and that's what made Antonio Brown good. I mean, Antonio Brown was, one of the elite route runners and stuff. But he just kept giving him the ball, and Antonio Brown kept doing the work. I think Juju Smith-Schuster is going to be fed with Brown. And I don't see James Conner as taking much of the ball away from the passing. I think it's Ben Roethlisberger's year to pass with what he's got left.
What about James Washington and Deontic Johnson?
I do like Deontic Johnson, but
they did draft a rookie this year who's,
Clayton,
and they just got Eric Ebron.
I still think Juju Smith-Schuster. I mean, out of all of those, Juju Smith-Schuster has the safest job.
Oh yeah,
he's not going to be taken away.
Right. I don't think that. I'm just wondering if he's going to get that much work. I do have Juju Smith-Schuster way down at 24, but as the top wide receiver for those.
I have him at 17. I actually wanted to move him up, but it's just that Eric Ebron,
just
Deontic
a lot
Johnson,
of stuff. We need to see how it's going to fill out. And if Roethlisberger's going to be able to function this year.
Yeah, but Juju Smith-Schuster is like the man of the team. If you go and you look at, we got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, further down the list, they've got a more wide receiver tight end committee than any other team. They've got the one where you don't know who's going to get the ball. At least
they're in a pass first.
Deontay Johnson. I mean,
Pittsburgh's a running offense that sets up the pass.
Yeah, but James Conner hasn't proven to be a great runner.
Yeah, I mean he's good, and when healthy, he's been pretty darn.
I mean,
good,
but if you're talking about Tampa Bay wide receivers, you got all these names like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, people you've seen the work. Yeah. Deontay Johnson and James Washington, like they've played, but they're not really names that you like say a lot. There's somebody like they have the potential to be the best.
Right.
Juju Smith-Schuster already was good.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I have him as that spot. So,
What was
your number 8?
Mine was Chris Godwin.
Right. Keenan Allen.
Oh yeah. So
Keenan Allen.
Why do you have Keenan Allen there?
I actually did have him higher originally, but I lowered him down a little bit because you just don't know how that offense is going to do. You have Tyrod Taylor, which dumps off the ball short. He's not really much of a deep threat. Even though Mike Williams is the deep threat, Keenan Allen's not going to get those deep balls. And then you have a rookie in which I think is the best quarterback out of this draft. In my opinion, I really like the guy, but I don't really expect him to start right away. I'm actually predicting him starting week 4.
Justin Herbert.
Yeah, Justin Herbert, yeah. So, but Keenan Allen is still really good. I mean, he still gets a lot of yards. I think he's still going to get a lot of touchdowns. Great hands. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I had to move down myself a little bit. I have him at 10.
And very good singer, which helps.
Is he really?
Yes.
That does help.
He does have a great beard, too.
Yeah? I mean, you take off his helmet and he's got no hair, so.
What doesn't he have? Oh, hair.
Yeah,
got it. All right, so number 9.
You guys are going to love mine.
Okay.
DK Metcalf.
Wow. Nice.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I love it.
You love it.
I love it.
I love it, too.
I have Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper. I've got A.J. Brown.
Wow. So this is where the gutter ball happens.
This is where the gutter ball happens. It
I don't
looks
even
like
know
we're
what that
taking
saying means.
our semi-chances at this point, huh?
I mean, all of us have a. I mean, Amari Cooper is something that's everybody can potentially see as a top 10 because he's been in the positions. But A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf still have to prove it. So I'd like to hear about that.
Yes.
I actually have A.J. Brown at 12. I think he's going to have a huge year.
He really had a great second half of the season. I mean, he was top end wide receiver.
Yeah.
And he's got that connection, with his quarterback. So.
And they got rid of Tajay Sharp.
Yeah.
And Delaney Walker retired.
I mean, he's the number one option, and he's a stud. I really feel like he's going to produce.
I remember in my Dynasty League, I actually wanted to draft him.
Yeah, I mean, people waited on him in Dynasty Leagues because he went to a bad situation.
I don't
he went
think so.
to the Titans. Well, they had Marcus Mariota back then, and he couldn't throw to anybody.
Yeah, but Corey Davis can't catch the ball to save his life.
Well, was
It doesn't
Was
matter.
it Corey Davis or was it Marcus Mariota?
Because Corey Davis started getting a lot of stuff when Tannehill came in.
Yeah, but A.J. Brown was still better, and I mean,
Yes.
A.J. Brown was just naturally
I'm not
talented.
saying A.J. Brown isn't better. I'm saying Marcus Mariota is trash.
Yes.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
A.J.
But
Brown has the
I didn't really see
opportunity
that
to
as
produce
the
this
problem.
year.
I thought A.J. Brown was going to do great.
How about DK Metcalf?
DK Metcalf. So, I mean,
Well, there's some excitement in that voice, huh? Man crush?
Yeah, a little bit. So, I mean, I fell in love with Doug Baldwin like years ago.
Okay.
He got well over 100 targets every year. He got well over 1,000 yards every year. He was just that number one receiver. Russell Wilson loves that deep threat. When he retired and DK Metcalf came in, I knew that was just the perfect spot for him. He's going to fill in for Doug Baldwin. He got 100 targets this year. Mm-hmm. I predict he's going to get a lot more this year.
His opportunity, he can definitely be a touchdown monster, man.
Yeah. And I was also looking at it, and he had a really bad catch percentage last year, which worries me. But I was looking at Tyler Lockett and Doug Baldwin, and every year, the first 3 years of their career in Seattle, their catch percentage went up a significant amount every year. So I think DK Metcalf was like 58%, which is definitely below average. I think he's going to get around like 61%, which is still slightly below average, but it's still pretty decent increase.
So you're saying you have the numbers to back it up?
Trick question. Russell Wilson doesn't play this year. He holds out. No, I'm just kidding.
He gets traded.
He gets traded to the Patriots. Julian Edelman, top 1 wide receiver now.
Okay, back to Amari Cooper. I'm worried about Amari Cooper. He's been a very up and down wide receiver throughout his career. He'll just disappear games. Other games he'll do really well. He does seem to have a decent rapport with Prescott.
Yeah.
But they just drafted a stud muffin wide receiver.
Yeah. Here's what I was looking at.
And they still have
Gallup.
Michael
Yes,
Gallup.
here's what I'm looking at though, okay? Jason Garrett,
Yes.
rushing coach. All right? You take that away, right? You add in CeeDee Lamb, and now you're thinking, what does this guy know that we don't? I think Ezekiel Elliott's great, don't get me wrong. I think they're going to make Dak Prescott the most thrown quarterback now. They're going to have a bunch of three wide receiver sets. They're going to have it in their tight end and then their running back.
But you think Cooper's going to be that one to get the big stuff?
I think it's definitely going to be a split between all of them. I mean, if you go and you look at the games with Randall Cobb and I think CeeDee Lamb is better than Randall Cobb.
Yeah,
potentially. I mean, he still doesn't have that
he's not
NFL experience.
Yet, sure.
But if you go look at all the games, Amari Cooper still ended up really high in the top. I mean, some games did help when he would have 200-yard games and touchdowns in them. But I mean, if you go and look at all of his highlights and his plays, he's very good at catching. There's a few games where he'd make 4 sideline catches.
Yeah.
He's very smart with his movement. His only problem was when he was dropping the ball.
Right.
He hasn't been dropping the ball, and so he's been getting thrown the ball more.
Yeah, last year there were hardly any receivers on the Cowboys that dropped balls. It was mainly Randall Cobb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you go through the beginning of the season to the end of the season, you see that Amari Cooper has gotten better because the defense realizes that they were using Gallo.
Right.
A lot more. Right. So they went and they covered Gallup. Well, now they see CeeDee Lamb, which leaves Amari Cooper to not be double teamed anymore.
Certainly possible. Okay. I appreciate your explanation.
I think Amari Cooper is better than he's better when he does the 1v1.
Right.
Gets into their head.
For sure.
Their noggin. He's like, I'm Amari Cooper. Who are you? Stephon Gilmore. Who's that? Loser. That's him.
All right. Number 10.
Number 10.
T.Y. Hilton.
T.Y.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, if healthy, he's definitely going to be up there. Phillip Rivers still has an arm. I don't care what you guys say. Still has an arm.
It is attached.
It is on his right here.
I think T.Y. Hilton's going to have one of the best seasons of his career. I think it's going to be great. I mean, not the best, but he's definitely going to be up there. Definitely over 100. Definitely over 130 targets.
Okay.
If healthy.
Fair enough.
I feel you. You good, sir?
I went with number 10 is Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen, yes.
I have Allen Robinson.
All right.
Nice.
I mean, obviously the situation there is, what's up with the quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, even when Trash Trubisky was there, Allen Robinson was still making plays, doing good.
By the way, he is still there, so good luck with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But will he be?
I don't blame Trubisky 100%. Now, I think Trubisky's a bad quarterback, but I also blame the coaching staff. Some of the plays that the Bears did last year and the year before were just horrible. Yeah. I think that's hurting Allen Robinson.
I mean,
if they had a better coach, then I'd definitely put him up there.
Allen Robinson has been always, one of the more wide receivers where you really want to draft him, but you just don't know. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was a year with Jacksonville where he got injured, and that totally ruined everything because he was one of the best.
I remember. I had him that year.
Yeah, that sucks. And then he hops on the Bears. You think that might make Trubisky better.
Yeah.
No, it's just Trubisky's fault. But, I mean, Allen Robinson was making plays. He did end really high in fantasy.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely going to help if Nick Foles is the quarterback, but I don't think he drops down if Trubisky wins the job.
Yeah, I
think
agree.
because he's still good catcher, good route runner.
So. He looked good last year.
Yeah. And he started to become like one of the best after, he rocketed up.
So who was your number 10?
Keenan Allen.
Right. Okay.
Nice.
Do you want to touch on that?
You said it for the most part. I mean, I may move him down a little bit, just depending on how I see their quarterback play.
Right. So if Herbert starts, would you move him down more?
Yes. I mean, I just don't trust rookies. And on my fantasy team, I want players who are going to be at least semi-consistent.
Thank you for listening to the FantasyFootballFirst.com podcast.
Jackson throws the complete. Crabtree has it for a touchdown.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Get more fantasy info and check us out at FantasyFootballFirst.com.